Why are you not starting things? Why are you not going after your dreams? Why are you not starting that business? Starting that day trading? Why are you just sitting on your hands? Now, to be perfectly honest, I've been in the same position, feeling stuck and procrastinating. And today I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the years about how easy it is to get that ball rolling and start building the life that you really want to live in. And while we explore this topic, I'm going to be checking out this beautiful area in the Netherlands called Zandschans, which is an area with epic windmills that I've been procrastinating on coming out and visiting. So while we explore this, let's also explore why we don't start things. While we were in lockdown, I know a lot of us made use of this time to better ourselves. We took online courses, did other self-improvement stuff. But now that we're coming out of the lockdown, it's time to put the pedal to the metal. And one of the big phenomena that I've seen this in business mentorship training that I've done before, and in business mastermind groups, is I've been with groups of people looking to be an entrepreneur. And they were like in the state of constant information gathering, where they were looking to learn how to create the right product, to connect with customers, to market better, to do online video. And they're just in this mode of just constant information gathering. I call it analysis paralysis. They feel stuck. They want to get all that information right, make sure that they're doing everything perfectly before they take the first step. And the problem is that they never take that step. This is why, statistically, 99% of people who set out to do something like create a business don't succeed. Mostly because they don't even start. Oh, and by the way, this isn't one of those get out there and crush it sort of videos. Because let's be honest, that's an insult to our intelligence. It's like, don't tell me what to do, show me how to do it. And I'm going to show you how to actually get that ball rolling and see a definite movement towards your goal. But before we jump into that, I want to point out something, highlight an aspect of your mind, how it works, that's also stopping you from moving forward. And it's something that we call attachments and aversions. These are desires that we have. See, part of you has a desire for your goal, but part of you doesn't want it. You're actually pushing it away. Part of you wants to do it, part of you doesn't want to do it. And you can see some of these reasons. Some of them are known to you, they're conscious, and some of them you don't know why. They're unconscious, but you find yourself like sabotaging yourself and you don't know why. So this is something for you to start to become aware of and start to explore, because if you undo your attachments to your goal and your aversions to your goal, it makes your movement so much easier because you don't have these forces of pushing and pulling you, and this really helps you move forward. Now, if you find yourself guilty of this analysis paralysis, it might be tempting to try to figure out why. Why am I doing it? And how do I stop? And this is a waste of time, because as long as you're analyzing yourself, you're stuck in the paralysis and you're thinking about the problem, just thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. And either you think about it or you take action. As long as you're thinking, there's no action going on. So the solution here is to drop the mind. This is a place where you can take immediate action and effective action. And I'm going to show you how. All right, so let me show you how to get out of the stuckness and into action. And like I said, I've been there. For years, I was wanting to launch my own business. And I was stuck with a bunch of what ifs. What if I make a mistake? What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose everything in the process? And while I was stuck with that fear and hesitation, I wasn't taking action. But when I finally decided, that's it, I'm doing it. And it's just like every other time. When I finally just decided to do something, I always looked back and thought, wow, that was easy. Why didn't I do it sooner? So what I found is the thing that just stopped me from taking action in the first place, it was a feeling. It's like a fear, a hesitation, or a feeling of resistance. Like part of me didn't want to do it. Oh, this is going to be a lot of work. Once I get started, then I can't stop. I'm just going to be right in it. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. Now, that fear and that resistance that was really stopping me, it's just a feeling. And you may be experiencing these feelings too. And here's the thing. When you get this feeling out of the way, there really is nothing stopping you from taking action. So let me show you how to get that fear and that resistance gone. All right? So think about a goal, a project, something big, like a business, maybe that you want to start. And just think about launching it right now, jumping into action, doing it. And first, see if you have like a fear. Oh, I'm not ready for it yet. What if I make a mistake? What if I fail? And notice right now, you're experiencing a feeling of fear. See, nothing's going on. Nothing's happened. You're no danger. But you have this feeling of fear. And it's a very compelling thing right now that's holding you back. But where did this fear come from? And who does it belong to? It's your fear, isn't it? And when this fear comes up, can you see that you don't like the fear? It's like, oh, I don't want you here, fear. So you say no to the fear when it comes up, right? Now I'm going to show you how to turn it around and actually get rid of the fear, because notice what happens when you say no to the fear. Does it make the fear go away? Of course not. In fact, the more you say no to it, the more you build it up. Just examine it. Isn't it true? So we got to turn it around. Now, take a look at the fear that you have. The fear of getting started. The fear of, something going wrong. Now measure this fear that's coming up. Measure it on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the most fearful and 0 being the least fearful. And see where you're at. All right, you got that number? Maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe it's a 2. Maybe it's a 10. Or maybe it's beyond. Maybe it's like a 27. All right? But wherever that number is at, it's your number. It's your fear. And look at your tendency to say no, to reject something that you own. And by saying no to it, it doesn't go away. So here's my question to you. Would you be willing to do something different? All right, I'm assuming yes. So we got to do something radically different than saying no. And here's what you do. Take a look at that fear, whatever number that it is at for you. Just look at that fear. And right now, just say yes to that fear. Try it out. Just yes. You're looking right at the feeling. Just say yes to it. And say yes to that fear a little bit more. And say yes to that fear a little bit more. And say yes to it even more. And say yes to that fear even more. And say yes to it even more. and even more. And say yes to that fear even more. And even more. Just 3 simple letters, Y-E-S. Just say yes to the fear. And say yes to it a little bit more. Now, measure yourself again. See if you moved on that scale. See if that number's a little bit lower now. You notice a difference? And you also might notice you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, and your mind is a little bit more quiet and peaceful. Just notice that. See, this is showing you that you can actually let go of the fear. See, when you say yes to it, you're allowing that fear to leave, because that fear, when it comes up, it's coming up because it doesn't belong inside of you. It wants to leave. But look at your habit. The habit of saying no to the fear. And so what do? You push it down and you hold on to it. And you collect it and you accumulate more and more fear. That's why it doesn't go away. It just gets stronger and stronger. So when you do the opposite now, notice how simple and easy this is. And notice the results. The fear goes away. How about that? Now that you've let some of the fear go, you feel lighter, right? Now let go pushing down, holding down the rest of your fear. Just let it come up. Just a feeling. It's not going to bite you, right? So welcome up the fear. Allow it to arise. And just let the fear pass through. Just let it leave. It wants to leave. And all it needs right now is your permission. Just welcome it up. And allow that fear to leave even more. And just let it leave even more. And even more. And even more. And let that fear leave even more. Just let it pass through. Nothing to figure out here. Just give it permission to come up. Give it permission to leave. Get out of the way. And it'll leave all on its own. All right, how do you feel now? Better, right? So if you keep doing this, keep letting go of all your fear, it's not going to stop you from moving forward. You're going to be courageous. You're going to be confident. And you're going to be clear in your thinking, not clouded with fear. Now, the other thing that clouds you and stops you is resistance. It's just this inner thing of, I don't want to do it. And it's a bunch of nonsense. It's just your ego. So see if you've been resisting, taking action, going for your goal, for whatever reason. Now measure your resistance on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the most resistant, 0 being the least resistant. Just see where you're at. And notice when you feel resistance. It's a common thing. And you don't like it. You have that tendency to say no to your resistance. And does that make the resistance go away? Or does it make it stronger? All right? So since saying no doesn't work, let's do the opposite. Take a look at your resistance. Just say yes to it. And say yes to that resistance even more. And say yes to it even more. And say yes to it even more. And even more. Now notice if you moved. All right? Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. But let's take it a step further. Look right at your resistance. And since it belongs to you, you're the owner. The best relationship that you could have with it is a relationship that's loving. So, look right at your resistance right now and say, I love you, resistance. Try it out. I know it might sound a little bit silly, but try it. I love you, resistance. I love you. I really love you. I love you if you stay. And I love you if you leave. I love you either way. I just love you unconditionally. All right? Now measure yourself now. Notice the difference. And notice if you feel lighter and more calm, more peaceful. Now, a peaceful mind is a receptive mind. It's open to new things. It's open to real answers. And like I said before, one of the big philosophies, you might say, that I've been following that works so well is this attitude of take the first step. No more, no less, and let the next be revealed. See, when you set aside all of your fear, all of your resistance, all of your thinking, see, as long as you're thinking, you're not taking action. You either do one or the other. You're either thinking about it or doing it. And when you set all that aside, you just take action, and it's natural, and it's effortless, and it's intuitive. So you take the first step, and then the next one just shows up, the next thing you need to do. And you take that step, and then the next one shows up. And they just rise up like stepping stones, like walking across the water. And you take one step, and a stone rises up to meet you. And then it carries you all the way across to your destination. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. If you just let go of your mind, turn everything over to beingness. Beingness will lead you towards your goal in the most effortless and harmonious way. Try it. You'll like it. Oh, by the way, remember I was talking about before about attachments and aversions? Those are a major ego block that make it hard to achieve your goal, as well as make it difficult to find your true inner happiness and inner freedom. Now, that's a big topic to cover in a video like this, but I got a whole 21-day course that shows you how to go into yourself and spot your attachments and aversions, even the hidden ones, deep in your subconscious, so you can see them and effectively remove them. And when you do that, it's going to make everything in your life so much easier and so much more joyful. So if you like what we've done so far, and you feel lighter, you feel like this is working for you, and you're thinking about maybe going a little bit further, then I'll drop a link to this 21-day course in the description below, along with the coupon code. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so check it out. If you like what we've done so far, you're really going to love this. All right, so practice what we've done, have fun with it, and I'll see you on the next video.